might ask what sustainable and ethical shopping is, but first we need to learn more about the fashion community and its resources.
But I don't want you waiting around for me. I don't want you waiting too long. I don't want you waiting too long. She hold me down like gravity.
We on the front page of them blogs. Would you be mad at me if the whole world knew the we was on? It would be tragedy. Y'all niggas be globe trotting like travel teams. You always in my travel dreams. Lace up 2, 3 stripes and I'm gone. But you just want me home. Shorty hit my jack like, what the you doing? Bitch, I'm all alone. You can press me now?
In reality, these are just a few brands that participate in fast fashion. The end goal of my project is to combat those different ways and to show alternatives. I want to be able to shop more sustainably and provide resources to those people. OKC is pretty big, and I knew I had to cover a lot of ground. Here's a map explaining all the locations I picked. I wanted to make sure I covered all my favorite stores, and each were ranked on cleanliness, organization, finds, prices, customer service, and their overall vibe. The first is Community Thrift Store. This was the start of my entire project. I rated it as a traditional thrift store just because when you picture a thrift store in your head, that's kind of what Community is. It overall ranked a 5.6 just because of its organization. They have phenomenal prices and they have really good deals on like the weekends with different tag colors. I have it as a start just because this was a thrift store I passed by on the way to school, and I just wanted to really teach people how to shop sustainably because of it. My Sister's Closet is the next store that I picked. It's one that deals with a lot of community outreach and wanting to help the organization, the YWCA. It's an organization that empowers young women and youth, and I have been a part of the YWCA before, and ultimately it was just something that I wanted to include in my project. Its overall ranking was 3.8 just because it is more on the expensive side. The money goes to a good cause, but they didn't have as wide of a selection as I would have liked. Charleroi Community Thrift Store is probably one of my favorites. It is labeled as a community outreach because it is part of the nonprofit Faithworks of the Inner City, and its overall rank is an 8 out of 10. Charleroi Community Thrift Store has the cheapest prices. Literally all the clothes are 25 cents every single day. They're very affordable and they have an amazing selection. I kind of think I'm biased just because my mom working there, but my entire closet is literally from Charleroi Community Thrift Store. I have never found a thrift store with such a wide selection, and they just fit all body types, and the clothes are super cheap, and their goal is ultimately just to help the community. The Salvation Army is a new favorite of mine. I also labeled them as a community outreach because they don't only have a store, they also have several programs that help anyone that needs it. It's directed more towards like homeless and people that are just trying to get back on their feet, and I really like that. Their rank was a 5.8 just because they did lack in like the women's section. However, I like to shop for more men's clothes just because I like the way they fit, and they had a very wide selection, and I really liked it there. I'm sure you guys have all heard of Plato's Closet. I labeled it as more consignment just because you can bring your clothes there and sell them, and it is going to be a higher price, but you're ultimately getting what you want back, and they're going to be trying to be more on trend. I ranked it a 4.3 just because it's something that's not as affordable to me, and I know to other people. I don't really like to shop at Plato's Closet because they don't have the type of clothes that I like, but I think it's good for other people, and some people are kind of embarrassed to shop at thrift stores, so I think that this is a good alternative. Once Upon a Child is basically the kid version of Plato's Closet. Something I didn't know was in like the little like Palagio like little shopping center. The people that own Plato's Closet also own Once Upon a Child. I remember shopping at Once Upon a Child when I was really little, and I really wanted to incorporate it in my project just to show that there are other options if you have kids or you have little brothers and sisters to go buy their clothes. It is more on the expensive side, so it's ranked exactly as Plato's Closet, but it's good quality, and you know that like these items could be used, they could also be brand new, and I really liked it there. So yeah, it's a 4.3. Uptown Cheapskate is going to be the last consignment store that I'm talking about in my project. This one is in like Midwest City, so it's kind of outside of Oklahoma City, but it's still pretty close. It is consignment because you do sell your clothes here. However, I feel like it's a cheaper price than Plato's Closet, and there are more clothes that I like, and so it's higher in ranking. It was also really well organized within color scheme, body type, different things along those lines, and they had amazing customer service. So I really like Uptown Cheapskate and think it's a better alternative to Plato's Closet. The Goodwill Outlet Store, otherwise known as The Bins. The Bins is really one of my favorite places that a lot of people don't know about, and it's super cheap. While it is labeled as a traditional thrift store, because it's Goodwill, it's really not. They set out these bins of clothes, and they're changed like every hour, and they have more stuff in clothes. They have like miscellaneous items, blankets, electronics, a whole lot of different things, and you just kind of dig through them, and then you weigh things, and then that's kind of how you purchase them. And so a lot of people I know go to the bins and they'll buy items for like their family members or people in Mexico, and I always find really good things at the bins for super cheap prices, and so I ranked it a 6 out of 10 just because the people could be a little friendlier, and sometimes it could be hit or miss, and it doesn't have the best organization, but that's what you're going for, and you're getting these items at a really good price. Goodwill. I think when you think of thrift stores, most people think of Goodwill just because it's been around and there's a lot of them pretty much everywhere. And so it's a traditional thrift store. The one I went to is on Western, kind of by OCCC, our school. And I ranked it a 5.6 out of 10. And they had really good organization. They're organized just how much any Goodwill is. The staff was friendly. I found a couple of sweaters. I did find some shoes I didn't end up purchasing, but I really like it there, and it's very nostalgic to me. I would go and sit and read books while my mom browsed for our clothes, and yeah, you could never go wrong with Goodwill. The next thrift store is Bargain, and again, it is another traditional thrift store. It's on the north side. The next 3 thrift stores will be on the north side. It's a really cute store. It's organized just like any other thrift store. It's most similar to like Community, men's, women's, kids, dresses, that kind of thing. They were a little dirtier and didn't have the best customer service. It is a 5.3 out of 10. However, their clothes were really good at a very reasonable price, and at that point you're paying for sustainability and options rather than cleanliness and customer service. Right down the street from Bargain is Bad Granny's, or just like the Plaza District. And I used to work in the Plaza District, and whenever you hear like, oh, I need to go to the Plaza, Bad Granny's is always on that list. It's listed as an on-trend thrift store just because its target audience is more like indie, alternative types of people, I guess you could say. I really like Bad Granny's just because it caters to like different little shops, and you can like rent out a space in Bad Granny's, and that's kind of how it operates. It is very expensive just because it's an on-trend store and you're paying for the experience you get while going there. They don't have the best customer service, however. A couple of my favorite pairs of pants and like shorts and different things along those lines I bought from there. They have amazing little stickers and it's always just fun to go and see what they have. They're ranked a 6 out of 10 just because of the environment and the vibe that I get there, and I really like it. The last and final store on my list is Dig It, and it's also one of the best thrift stores in my opinion. It really could be listed as a community outreach just because of the amount of involvement that the owners have in like the LGBTQ plus community, and just trying to be a safe place for people, and they make donations to the arts, and they have so many different community projects and people that go there, and they're very reasonably priced and very ethical in their shopping and what they do. I remember at the very beginning of COVID, they had masks to hand out to people even before like there was a mask mandate, and I just really love the owners, and they would come in when I worked in the plaza, and they were just so very friendly, and the vibes are immaculate there, and I've bought so many fun pieces from them, and they have little grab bags, and there's always something new while you go there. They have free pinball. I just love Dig It. It's one of my absolute favorites.
You know I can hear none of that. Spend the night, my yacht. Wanna see Nirvana, I wanna die. Yeah. Wanna feel it on the cool, you come by. But with me at the mosh. If you know them boys wanna see me bump down, see me bump down, stressed out, that's just everyday shit. Shut the fuck up, I don't want your conversation. Rolling marijuana, that's a cheap vacation. Every day, shit, every night, shit, every day, shit, every night, shit, every day, shit, every day, shit, every night, shit. I'm on, but you want me home. I get you what you want.